Welcome to the Virtual Cheese Awards 2024, supporting the very best of British cheese. I'm Vicky Rogerson and I'll be moderating this session today. We'll be judging F8 Goat's Milk Hard. I'd love to introduce our two amazing judges, Nikki Philp from Harvey and Brockcliffe and Paul Heisman from Rowcliffe. Nikki, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Nikki from H&B. Lucky to work with lots of amazing cheesemakers, sourcing products, and looking forward to tasting some fantastic cheese today.
Thank you, and Paul?
Hi, I'm Paul from Anthony Rowcliffe. I look after our supply base, product sourcing and purchasing, and looking forward to another amazing morning of eating cheeses.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much. So today the judges will be marking on points on 4 key attributes. So they are appearance, aroma, texture, and flavour. And flavour is upweighted. So the better the flavour, the better the final result. We will be choosing a first, second, and a third in this category. And the first cheese we'll be going for is 1033.
Okay, so we've got some hard cheeses here, haven't we? Or a bit more firm. Well, this one actually is quite soft. There's quite a lot of water and liquid coming off mine. Is that? How about with you?
Yeah, no, exactly the same. Actually, it's quite it's quite difficult to pick up.
Yeah,
but, kind of a nice wedge shape.
nice white colour.
Yeah, very bright.
Yeah, it looks very, very white, doesn't it? Appearance, so I mean, it looks fairly soft.
Yeah.
I think yeah, there's not a lot to say. It hasn't got any. It's a block piece of cheese, isn't it?
Yeah, quite a soft one, as you say, but yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's very nice, close texture, lovely bright colour.
Yeah, probably just the water that's a bit of an issue, isn't it? So,
Yes.
what would you like to go with? Sort of, are we talking a 7 mark, somewhere like that, 7.5? Yeah.
Even an 8, really. It just looks, yeah. I can't really see any faults in it at all. It just looks like that.
Aroma?
Do you go for an 8 or a 7.5?
7.5.
Yeah.
Aroma, definitely can smell the goat.
Yeah.
Smells slightly sweet.
Yeah.
Smells very milky, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's very lactic, isn't it? It's,
very, very lactic.
In a nice way. And you, as you say,
smells really inviting. Smells really nice.
Yeah.
I think.
Lovely, fresh, bright piece of cheese.
8 on aroma.
Yeah, definitely.
It smells nice, doesn't it?
You know it's goat. It smells really clean and fresh and
yeah. Let's cut it that way. Oh wow, texture-wise, it's very soft.
It is.
You'd expect it to perhaps be a little firmer than that, wouldn't you? Let's try a bit. Yeah, it's very soft, very Play-Doh-y, breaks down.
Yeah, it's
very quickly, very easily. There's not a lot of structure to the texture, is there? It's not holding up at all. It's very weak sort of texture, isn't it? It's almost spreadable to a certain degree.
Releases a lot more of the goat aroma when you it's nice. It's nice and clean. Yeah, but it is. It's just I
don't think that texture is right, is it? No. I mean, no, I would say that's not right.
It was actually it was quite a slippery piece of cheese.
Yeah, I think 6 for texture. Yeah. I think on the palate it's not great either.
No, so you can
very weak, isn't it? It's just a paste. Slight powderiness.
Yeah, it's very quite granular.
And it's kind of we're going to be on flavour here as well, aren't we? I feel.
Yeah, I mean it's a nice upfront goat flavour, but then it goes goes bitter.
It's really bitter on the back note, isn't it? Really quite unpleasant aftertaste.
Yeah.
Very goaty. Not, I don't know if there's a slight bit of farmyard in there. Yeah, it's not, the aftertaste is not pleasant.
You know, sort of farmyard could be good, but it's just overridden by that, and it's building and building, which is it's
Yeah.
pretty powerful, to be honest.
I think a 6 probably
Yeah,
on flavour as
yeah.
well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
Initially, it was really, you know, obviously,
Yeah.
you know, this is definitely goat. It's quite nice, and then there was no in between. It just went straight to punching
Yeah.
in the before throat. Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Okay, yeah, next one is 1038.
Lena. Okay. The Gouda style by the looks of it. Looks like it might be smoked. Well,
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's been sat on some racking.
quite
Yeah,
wet in the wrapper.
It's very wet. Yeah.
Really wet. It's quite a lot of moisture. I don't know if everyone can see that from the wrapper.
Definitely smoked.
Oh, slippery. Yeah, quite
Oh,
wet.
it's looking.
I think it looks quite pretty.
Yeah.
The smoking looks quite nice. I think,
Yeah.
I don't know, 7
Yeah.
looks quite nice. Don't think it should have quite as much moisture coming
No, I
off
think
it,
that's what
but
marks it down is you can
Yeah.
visually there's a lot of moisture on it.
it does look very pleasant. Okay, so aroma, very smoky.
Yeah, so you just get the smoke, but
Oh,
it's
not unpleasant though.
I like the level of smokiness. I think it's
You can't smell anything else really but the smoke though,
No.
can you?
no,
So it is that. So 6.
yeah, because it'd be nice to smell some of the cheese as well, given that it is goat. But I tried again once, cut into a piece, but
I don't think you get much more from the centre, to be fair. You just get that smoke running through it, really.
yeah, it's permeated through, hasn't it?
Yeah. So did we mark aroma there, Vicky, or not?
Suggested a 6.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so texture next then. It's quite short, quite breaky, quite crumbly.
Got quite a nice bite to it on texture though.
Does hold together.
Yeah.
But perhaps looks like it's kind of slightly broken.
And it holds together very well actually.
Slight powderiness.
Mm.
But it does hold together quite well.
Yeah. Breaks down really nice in the mouth, doesn't leave any bits floating around in the mouth.
It melts away, doesn't it? I
Yeah.
think the texture is actually much better than everything else that we've got at the moment. I mean, I'd probably mark the texture a bit higher, probably 7.5 perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quite happy with that.
And on the
Flavour.
I think the smokiness is a really nice level actually. I think it's
Agree. I think it's got a nice sweetness to it actually,
Yeah.
hasn't it?
yeah,
And
so
the nice flavour. Actually, you're right. I think the smoking complements, doesn't it?
Yeah.
As opposed to kind of smelling like it takes over.
A really nice
It's quite light.
cheese for people that are nervous about eating smoked cheeses. I think they're just too heavily smoked, but I think that balance is really, the delicacy of the goat's cheese itself. I think they've got the balance and that spot on. Very good.
Nice level of sweetness.
Yeah.
Nice kind of fat coverage.
It's
not goaty. I think it works
No.
really well. It's
Yeah.
not really nice, but actually flavour wise, tastes really nice.
Yeah, I see easily an 8.
Yeah, agree. 8 it is. I think I might just have a little bit of apple to clear smoke flavour away, to be fair.
Yeah.
Next one is 1117.
Looks like another Gouda style cheese then.
Yeah, so it's cut for quite a large cheese by the looks of it.
Wow.
Really interesting rind on the outside.
Yeah, I was going to say the outside looks interesting.
Yeah. You're immediately drawn to it, aren't you? Once I have a good look at it.
Yeah.
A little bit sort of brown and darker spots, some yellow notes in there as well.
Quite a lot of different colours going on.
Yeah.
It looks quite lively, doesn't it?
Yeah, very pretty. Bit of openness on the cheese, but that's fine.
Yeah, I think
I think that's
I
lovely.
don't know. What do you want to mark it on the outer? I mean, whilst that it's quite sticky, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but again, easily an 8, I would say.
Yeah, let's go with that. Yeah.
Yeah. But,
Okay, so aroma.
well, it's got
That's slightly farmyardy, quite savoury.
Yeah, yeah, some sort of umami sort of notes in there. Yeah, I get a bit of nuttiness as well.
Yeah, and then the rind is quite lively.
I think it's partly because it's quite sticky as well. There's a lot going on in the rind.
I think it smells okay, but not as nice as well. The smokiness felt a bit fresher. This feels a bit more sort of stayed, doesn't it?
Yeah. 7.
So 7.
Yeah.
Play it for aroma. So texture. Looks like I've got quite a lot of lactate crystals floating around in here.
Yeah, because I saw some and I wondered if that was a bit of mould, but because I've actually got quite some large lactate.
I think now we've cut it, you can see there's quite a few. I mean,
the
texture is quite soft. It's quite breaks down quite nicely. A bit batty in the hands, perhaps.
It's pleasantly deceptive because of the amount of crystals that I'm now seeing in the cheese. I
Yeah,
expect it to be a lot firmer, a lot harder cheese than it actually is. Yeah, and you get them in the mouthfeel as well. It's really nice. It's got a sweet, it's characteristic of a good gouda.
it's quite aggressive at the end, isn't it?
It suddenly hits you again, doesn't it?
It's quite burning.
Yeah.
And very much farmyard at the back. It's very sweet at the front.
Yeah, as I say, mixed in with it.
It's a journey, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, you're on this.
And you definitely know you're eating goat's cheese. That's very goaty.
The score for texture.
I think texture is okay, but I think it's again middle of the road, isn't it? It's probably a 7.
7, yeah. Yeah.
And I think the flavour's one that's quite intense.
I think the flavours are quite confused.
Yeah, quite punchy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not a starter goat's cheese is what I'd say.
No, exactly. 1 second you've got sweet goat notes, and then
Yeah, well, I'm just going to go get. But it's like a journey. The eating is a journey.
Yeah.
Very much. You start sweet, don't you?
Yeah.
And then you go to something quite strong and quite farmyardy.
I'd describe it as aggressive.
And aggressive, yeah. And you're definitely left with a lasting kind of burning sensation in your mouth, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I think 5.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's just too much going on, and then how it finishes is not the best, really.
No, agree.
But what's going on through the journey, there's some really interesting things in there, but yeah, just needs a bit more balance, really.
Bit of refinement.
Yeah.
Great. The next one is 1133.
It's like another block goat's cheddar. This one's much drier than any of the other ones we've seen. It's a block format, so I guess usable for lots of different things. I mean, it looks okay. I mean, it's a block. It's not going to look like an artisan smoked cheese, is it? It's going to be much more. Looks like it's been fact packed.
Yeah, it looks like it's probably going to be quite young as well. There's always sort of curdy structure to it.
So I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean,
6.5, 7, something like that. Yeah. 6.5.
I'll go 7. I think
7.
It's doing what it. Yeah, there's a little bit of openness on it, but I think it's doing what it's designed still. It's just the openness, and there was. I mean, on mine there was actually quite a bit of moisture in the pack still. So yeah.
Aroma. It's quite florally actually, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's got quite pleasant aroma. Not massively heavy on goat, is it? It's quite
clean,
light.
Sweet. It's goat's cheese.
8.
Yeah. I like it.
Quite nice.
A bit lactic. Just and I know she said floral notes in there. Yeah, good.
Okay, so texture.
I'll give that. It's quite firm to cut, isn't it?
It's quite firm, and goes back together quite well. Holds together, knits together quite well. The curds all working together. It's not crumbling in the hand. I think it's got quite a strong body, really, about right.
Yeah.
Was eating in slow-mo.
That's nice. He holds together well.
I think texturally it's quite nice. Slightly powdery.
Yeah. Yeah. Got to be at least a 7 again, isn't it?
It's quite nice.
Maybe even an 8.
Quite a nice texture.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's like, so I guess the slight powderiness would be what knocks it back, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But I still think it's quite nice. We get 8.
Yeah, 8. I'm happy with 8. Yeah. The powderiness is not sort of off-putting, really. It's yeah.
And then flavour, quite a nice balanced flavour, actually.
Well, it's got some fudgy caramel notes to it.
There's quite a lot going on, isn't there? Getting quite a lot of meadowy, kind of grassy kind of notes, aren't you? It's not too goaty. Got a slight sweetness. You do know it's goat's cheese. I mean, it doesn't taste not of goat's cheese. No. But yeah, I think really quite pleasant eat.
I think there's a nice balance of lactic. You get the goat flavour. There's sweetness there. I also get this sort of caramel note to it as well, which I think is really is a really nice balance to flavour. I think overall that's a very, very good eat, actually.
Yeah, I think I'd be happy with an 8, 8.5 for that.
Yeah, I mean, from an innocent looking block of goat cheese, that actually packs quite a punchy flavour in a good way. Yeah.
Are you happy with an 8.5 perhaps, Paul?
Yeah, 8.5 definitely. Yeah.
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 Cool.
That's very good. And I'm left with a nice, clean, zingy, fresh aftertaste as well.
Yeah, it's a nice afternoon eat, I would say.
Great. The next one is 1134.
One,
3, 4. Got another block cheddar by the looks of it. Goat's cheddar. This one's much wetter. This one's got a lot more moisture. Have you got the same for? Or you can see it. Well, see if the camera can see it. So much more glistening.
Yeah,
much wetter. I'm not sure that's necessarily a great thing that there's so much more moisture on it. So I think perhaps mark down a little on that. So what do you want to do? 7?
Yeah.
7. Okay, aroma. I suspect this is an older version of what we've just tasted. It's got lot more sweetness coming out of it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Than the flavour before. A lot more milkiness almost, isn't there? It's like a sweetness and a milkiness. I have to say, it does actually smell quite nice.
Yeah, but I wouldn't necessarily know it was goat, but but no, it's nice. Yeah, it's clean.
You definitely got that lactic kind of cheesy, kind of
sweetness,
cheesy factory, you know, kind of smell to it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's pleasant. 7.5, perhaps.
Yeah.
Texture. Oh wow, this is going to break a lot more. You can see where I've cut it that it's much more sharding.
Yeah, so it sort of fractures, doesn't it?
Hard. It's quite solid as well, isn't it? I don't know about yours, Paul, but you've got to really push your knife through it. It's hard to push together in your hands, but it does knit together quite well, but it's quite solid. A lot drier texture, I guess. That's what we're going to see. Feels slightly grainy in the hands, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's almost quite a sort of curdy cheddar sort of texture to it.
Oh, it's really heavy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really heavy. Heavy not in the right way either.
No, it's quite a, I think you can expect, well, you have an expectation, I think that goat's cheeses are going to be a lighter eat in general, and that certainly isn't. Yeah.
I feel that is a bit heavy. Too much of the moisture has come out, hasn't it? It could do with some of the moisture being in there a little bit more. I guess it's probably been aged, but aged probably a little bit further than it probably should be.
Yeah.
I would say it probably it's kind of gone a little over the top, because you kind of expect that you're going to then get quite a punch on flavour. I mean, solid. I mean, and actually the flavour is not really there, is it?
No.
You're getting a level of sweetness.
Takes a while for the goat
It tastes
to
a bit
come
burnt,
through.
don't you think? Bit burnt caramel. And then it is a bit kind of fudgy at the end, isn't it? But it's really drying on the palate.
Yeah, it is quite a heavy eat. It's quite dry. It almost feels powdery in the mouth. And you get initial sort of goat flavour, but there is that sort of like you say, that burnt harshness to it as well.
What's your scores?
Which is a bit confused.
I'd say that really lacks on flavour, lets it down the flavour, doesn't it?
6.
I'd say 6.5 for the flavour.
Yeah.
What's the texture?
The texture is really heavy. I don't think we'd go different on that, would we? I think probably 6 on the texture.
Yeah.
Texture's too dry.
Yeah.
And then flavour 6.5.
Yeah. I think it's just over the top. I think if it was a little bit younger, it'd probably be better cheese.
Yeah. It's just, you just feel like it's trying a bit too hard, really. It doesn't need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that dryness just comes through in the mouthfeel, which distracts away from the good parts of the flavour, really. You're focusing on the mouthfeel than the flavour.
Yeah, the cheese before was much nicer and lighter, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what this lacks, really. It lacks, a lightness to it, which I always have this thing, I think that goat's cheese is, you just think, I'm going to have that little bit of extra lightness and zinginess compared to cow's milk.
Okay, so next one is 1151.
Okay. Okay. So where to attack the unwrap?
Yes, that's what Yeah, my piece has got a fairly hefty.
It looks quite nice.
It's very open, but
Looks quite rustic. When I get into it, I'll be with you. Looks quite dry.
Yeah. So mine's, there's quite a lot of openness in it, and mine's got a pretty hefty crack in it. Which,
Mine's
it may have had a knock-on root.
very dry, very dry on the outer, I'd say.
It just feels like.
Yeah, it's slightly open, but mine probably not as bad as yours. Yeah, it doesn't.
You just.
Yeah, I think appearance-wise, it's just looking a bit dried out, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you want? Seven?
Yeah. I think the crack may have happened in transit, so
yeah,
I don't can mark that down as a fault with the cheese as such. It's probably had a knock on the way, but the appearance and the feel of it makes you think it's going to be, quite a dry eat as well.
Yeah. So what are we saying on appearance then, Paul? What do you want to go for?
It just looks very dry and
6?
yeah, so I'd say 6.
Yeah. Okay. So aroma. Is it Roma next?
Yep.
Aroma, yeah.
Parmesan-y.
Yeah, exactly.
A bit sort of sicky, parmesan-y, sweetness, cheesiness. That sort of parmesan feety kind of smell, isn't it?
I'm not really getting a distinct goat coming through at all.
Take a bit off the end to see if there's anything coming through. Don't think it changes anything if you cut into it.
Yeah. So you see the texture there through that.
Cutting through it, I had a similar situation to you. I've just squared up a little. Very crumbly, I think, when we get its texture.
It's very open texture, isn't it?
I mean, the smell doesn't smell quite right, does it? I mean, on the aroma, I don't think it smells quite right. It smells like it's going to be quite strong and quite aggressive, quite goaty. I think flavour, aroma. I think we'll mark. What do you want to mark it around 6.5 or something?
Yeah, I was going to say 6.
6 was them.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Texture, very crumbly.
Yeah.
Very powdery.
Very open, just
very open.
And just granular. It just breaks down into small.
Yeah.
Pieces. Yeah.
I'd guess 6 again. It's kind of consistent with the product, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then flavour. I'm not sure what to say about the flavour. It's an interesting flavour.
Well, bizarrely, the first flavours I got, it was almost more sheep characteristics than goat. Bizarrely. It's
very, very rural, isn't it? Agricultural. Tastes like a bit farmyardy.
Yeah. And it goes a bit harsh on the end again.
It's quite strong on the aftertaste, isn't it?
It does grab the back of your throat.
Yeah.
But there's some sweetness mixed in amongst that.
I mean, the sweetness is at the start, but goes very quickly.
And there is going. I mean, I now do get goats. I can tell it is actually a goat's milk cheese. But again, there's other bits going on, bouncing around, which are distracting away from that. There is the harshness.
Tastes slightly dirty.
Yeah.
I think we'll stick consistently with the 6.
Yeah, there's some good things in there, but they're hidden away. Yeah.
They're very much overshadowed by everything else.
Totally. Yeah. So I agree with 6 on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the end of this class session for Goat's Milk Hard, and the winning cheese is 1133, which scored 35.75.
Yeah.
Silver second place was 1038 with 32.5. And then bronze went to the first one, 1033 with 30.5. So thank you for your time and your comments, judges. And just to everyone else, make sure that you watch our live final category judging. So all the class winners from this session are going to go to the category final, which will be the 14th of May. And then those winners going to the Supreme final on the 15th of May, which will all be broadcast live. So thank you for your time. Thank you, bye.